recording started, getting very official here. We've got a lot of people joining in. And then maybe just before we kind of go around and do everybody's individual intro, like who is right for Earth Fare from a brand perspective and who isn't? Like, what does it mean for overall to work with Earth Fare? What do you look for from brands?
So, kind of, I was going to ask, and I'll say it myself, what are you looking for, right? Why what are you missing? And then how do you find it, right? That's kind of our job too. It's like the foraging, find the truffles, sniff them out. So, of course, I've said a lot of this, but plant-based regenerative is going to be huge for us this year. We sell the most grass-fed beef, probably any retailer. So we do a lot of really interesting things. Jaden is very data-driven, innovative. He's finding trends through data. So that's very interesting with spins and other things. Steven is cheese, but he's also a master sommelier. So we just have a lot of different talent, and we can really work every angle, which is fun, right? We're not the behemoth, the huge one, and we're not too small. We're not the guppy. It's kind of the big ones eat the little ones, so the little ones got to be fast, and we're fast. So we get things to market quick. We can turn a promo. We can work with you. I'm not saying you're going to get it, but there are times we work, especially emerging local brands. We don't take as much margin sometimes to get them rolling, promos. So I would say to work with Earth Fare, your best thing is come with energy, come with authenticity, and come with fun and a plan. So the plan's pretty hard, like a plan. Come to our store, know your promotions, know what you got to do. So that's the harder part, I would say. But even Expo West in your aisle, man, there was like so much energy in there. You could feel it bouncing off, both aisles into the middle. So it was really awesome.
Well, that's awesome. I bet there's even more energy when you guys show up. I know that
Oh, yeah. Well, we
everyone's
saw
very
that
pumped.
line of 100. That was a little scary. I was like, where's the rest of my team? Hurry!
Well, I know, and that's cool to hear you talk about regenerative. I'm also pretty interested to see what we see in the next year and 2 years. I saw there's at least one beverage brand in here that's ROC certified, Recoup. If anyone
Awesome.
else is regenerative, drop a comment, and I'm super curious to see.
And I'll pass it, but Jaden's been digging in right now on the certifications. So I guess Jaden, because you're more data driven, not that you haven't worked for Earthware and Whole Foods for 15 years, but how do you do it, and how could a emerging brand kind of catch your radar?
Yeah, so I know that there is some entry level inaccessibility sometimes when it comes to certifications in general, right? But I think that having any sort of processes in place, even if you're not necessarily certified yet, you're seeking certification, you want to get there, knowing what regenerative agriculture is, what your company and your people are doing to promote those processes can really just start the conversation. I think a lot of the certifications are out there. They have a lot of tools and resources for us as retailers to kind of dig in, see who they're talking to, who they've already certified. And I'm doing some work outside of that and just meeting with some of these different certifiers to get a better understanding of what their audits look like, what their processes look like, and how they're bridging that gap for the opportunity to allow innovative, smaller, emerging brands to enter that space.
Awesome. And then how about the data part, Jaden? Like, how do you go find a trend and what's missing in your set? Or even a plant-based item, and what you're focusing in on.
Yeah, so I look at a lot of syndicated data. For us, there's a lot of raw data available to us, and you can pull it by a lot of different ways. So you can look broadly at just like department based and then get really down nitty gritty into attribute level information. So when I'm doing really full detailed category reviews, that's what I'm looking at. And I look at, our region, so our Southeast region, to see what's happening, what it's looked like in the last quarter or period, 52 weeks. But then I also look at the West Coast. I look at the Southwest. I look at the Pacific Northwest to see what's really emerging on the other side of the country that I know is going to be making its way over here to really jump on those trends early. It can be kind of sticky because you don't want to be too early on something where people are like, what is this? What are you talking about? But when we can say we're first to market on these things in the Southeast, I mean, that's huge. So it's finding that medium ground of what's emerging, where can we be on the uprise of something without being too early that it's confusing to people. But there's so much great information in the data. That's what I look for. And then I do a lot of reaching out to folks. I just go on websites. I say, hey, I see you're doing this thing. I read about you here. I go on folks' social media and see what their presence looks like. How are they marketing themselves? Who are they marketing themselves to? So it's a lot of manual digging in around, but I mean, that's part of the fun of category management is getting kind of down into the nitty gritty and doing a lot of that research yourself.
Jaden, what do you read? I'm really interested when you're like, oh, I read about you here. Like, are there any specifics like newsletters you subscribe to or websites?
Well, I'm on a lot of like the autos, like the auto send outs, right? So I read a lot of Progressive Grocer. I try and stay up to date with the certifications that I'm interested in. So I read a lot of Land to Market, ROC, anything that they're blasting out that I'm just like, okay, that's interesting. And then I kind of just follow the rabbit hole down and it's as similar to as a wiki hole, right? You start with one thing and all of a sudden 3 hours later you're reading who knows what. But yeah, that's basic. And then LinkedIn. I mean, you can find just like a ton of things on LinkedIn of people just sharing things, and then you're always finding new publications and finding new diff areas for new interesting information.
Yeah, I've been known to share on LinkedIn every now and then.
Oh, team.
I'm waiting for the as seen on LinkedIn hat. What Justin or Steven or Mitch, any other publications, just as a quick deep dive, any other publications you guys subscribe to or look at?
I mean, I'm kind of like Jane in my other in my email has all natural new. I love all the New Hope stuff, forever. Been looking at that. And I read a lot of Bon Appetit, Food and Wine, a lot of, the chef restaurant more stuff because I'm in, that's my background. And I'm a like ferocious reader. So I read books, leadership books, fun books, nutritional, what's happening, wellness, supplements, HABA, ashwagandha, acidophilus, like what's hot. I should know. I should be able to talk about it. I tell my whole team, they got to know what they sell. We got to talk our stuff. And it's a little harder. So I guess and again, I love Michael Pollan. I think, Common Ground's out. So there's a lot of just books out we can learn from right now that definitely got some momentum, I think.
Awesome.
The aforementioned Land to Market for sure, the Packer for produce, and all the other industry news that comes along with frozen seafood. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Sorry, I interrupted. Mitch, maybe do you want, I think it's cool if you want to just like kind of keep going with questions.
Yeah. I know how to get it out of these guys. Why don't we jump in? Justin, so he's meat and seafood, he's produce. So pretty unique for, usually these shows and most things are about UPC items, grocery. But I would say to Justin, and he knows what I'm looking for right now, Justin does a great job with programs. So how could someone who's on this call, like, be involved in your programs? And then I think the same question is awesome. How do you find stuff? And what are you missing that you're going after?
Yeah, I mean, we take the approach, we're the guinea pigs or the fire starters for everybody we meet out there. Because I think we're the perfect size at 18 stores with decent volume to introduce a brand that's trying to get started. So I try to field every call, meet everyone I can every day, honestly, and try out new programs. And when Mitch talks about, some of the things we do in meat and seafood, I'll be 20 years with the company next month. And there was a challenge out there, 10, 12 years ago that we should be able to offer a lot of organic and clean products at conventional prices to get that customer to transition over to us. And, we've taken that challenge on. And I can honestly say now that we offer at conventional prices or better when it comes to meat and seafood for the quality that we have and the produce as well. So, to answer Mitch's question, we have programs like 1, 2, 3 Fish, where you can buy salmon portions in our store for $3 each, which is just a ridiculous price. It's a very sustainable portion that we have in the department. Some of it's salmon tails from a sustainable market, along with no shrink involved because it's a frozen program. And it brings people into our stores and they build, meals around that. So right now we're really, looking for complementary items like quick take and bakes for our produce programs. We have steamer bags with butter. I mean, how else can you fit into the program at Earth Fair where people can understand that, they don't have to spend a ton of money to eat clean, basically. Make healthy food accessible to everyone is what we said throughout the years. And when I say guinea pig or we'll try anything, like we really will. So if you have a complimentary item to build a program, we'll turn it on fast. We'll find a way to market it and we'll find a way to make it work. Typically, it's not often that we start a program in meat, seafood, or produce and go away from it. So I know I see a bunch of folks on here. I see a few folks I met at Expo West too. And I know that we don't have as many products that are related, but that doesn't matter to me because I think Jaden kind of said it earlier. Once you kind of get going on an idea and you talk to enough people, it becomes a bigger, better idea, So I'm interested to hear all of it and see where Fresh fits in.
And Justin, and I think I'm 6 months ahead of Justin, 20 years too. So we've worked together a long time. So anyway, Justin, what are you looking for right now? What's the hole in the set?
I would say,
what am I looking for? How about this way? What am I looking for and talking to you about?
I think that mushrooms are a hot thing out there.
Yeah.
I think that, what's that? Seafood?
Yeah.
Oh, well, wild smoked salmon is probably what Mitch is getting at there, which, we've got a lot lined up there, but I agree with Jaden and being out west and hitting some markets. Wow. I mean, you get out there and what you see in smoked seafood is so different than what you see on the East Coast. And smoked seafood is something I honestly think we could do better in and can be a very sustainable type of program that fits in our sets and with Earth Fair in general. In produce, I said mushrooms are hot. I really think there's a lot more to do there. We're looking at mushroom grow kits. We were looking at a mushroom pesto at one point. Where else does that fit in? We're looking for sustainable banana program, organic banana program that fits us. So there's a lot of ways we can fit in there and a lot of cool things I saw on the West Coast that fit.
That's great. And Justin, he also heads up like promotional strategy for our team. So he is involved in a lot of grocery wellness also all around. So, he's involved with that. He knows really well how to move items with a promo because meat is very different, thinking. Move the full animal, what's going to sell, what's going to happen to the tail or the trim. So there's a lot going on there, which is awesome and different. And we do a lot of things the hard way.
Yeah, I think, Mitch, just to say too, I mean, like at 18 stores in our size, when I say we're nimble and quick and can make things happen, 2 weeks ago, we were like, what are we going to do for Earth Day? Well, let's have 5 days of giveaway. We turned around and we had, a 5-day giveaway for Earth Day, made it all happen within 2 weeks. And there's no better way, in my opinion, at least with Earth Fair, to get those products out there and get people trying them. Yeah. We put your product at the top of the email, give it away for free. And you've got a lot of people all of a sudden on 500,000 people on our email list that may want to come out and try your product for free. So those are the kind of things we do, kind of promotions we do that I think really differentiate us.
So it's fun because all these fellows are very different, very unique, and very passionate. So Stephen has a very unique background. Our families had restaurants like growing up. So he's got that take on things, speed, fast, hustle, all the time. And then I call him the professor because and you could tell us your certification, Stephen, but he teaches wine at Virginia Tech. So he's the wine guy and our owner saw him doing such a great job with tastings and he's got a following in Roanoke. He didn't say anything to the rest of us, but our owner's like, hey, we need you to sell wine out there to everybody. So basically, Steven's now our specialty cheese category manager, wine, beer, but he's also a wine, expert. You can tell him the details, Steven. So that's really interesting, right? And unique. I don't know. I know Whole Foods had one or two, but I think it's pretty cool. So I'll let
Thanks for
Steven
kind
jump
words,
in. And
Mitch.
as you guys know, beer and wine is very government driven. So it's a real tricky one.
Yeah.
On that side too.
Yeah. Well, especially cheese, wine, and beer. We have a saying: we'll try anything once. Okay, as long as it clears our boot list. As long as it's a good product at a good price, we think our customers would like it. If it's sustainable, organic, regenerative, all the better, right? Even with wine these days, right? I'm sure y'all remember 20 years ago, organic wine, when it came out, it just meant it was disgusting, right? But now, organic wine, sustainable wine is just as good as in taste test, just as good as regular wine. So, anybody can have a high quality wine program, right? Wine's rated 90 or above, which we do. But I don't know anybody else out there that's really doing an organic, sustainable, biodynamic push with their new wines as well. So that's what we do. We've been doing for the past year or so with the wine. With the cheese, what we're looking for right now. We have a successful cheese program. We'd like to do better with soft cheeses and also some of our charcuterie. We could be a price thing sometimes. It does well during the holidays, but if there's one thing that anybody on the call would like to talk about, we're really looking for high quality, but not high price charcuterie and soft cheeses. So that's one thing I would say.
Awesome. And then Steve, we like to work with people and kind of use them where their skills are the best. Got a lot of different skills on this call. And Steven kind of not heads up, but really helps a lot with the merchandising and the cross merchandising and the sampling, because he's got such a wine, he can back everything into wine. And we've kind of created this program every weekend. Steven kind of runs it, and we run a bunch of items and we demo all weekend. We usually pay for we do it.
Yeah, all 18 stores every weekend. They do an active demo, right? And it's programmed, right? They know ahead of time what food, cheeses, what wines, and what not to go with it. So
that's where I was going, Stephen. Because that is a place people on this call could play too.
Yeah.
You just give us free product. We'll put your sign up. You can come to the demo if you want. We're saying, we'll work with you any which way, but loose probably. We work with Wisconsin Dairy Board. They're great. California Board, if you're in either of those states, they're really great. They have money to spend. I wish Steven had his gummy bears here, but tell him a little about the olfactory effects of your taste. I
wish I'd have thought of that. I would have had everybody have a jelly bean, right? Yeah. Well, a lot of y'all may know this, especially if some of y'all who've been in food, like to probably mention Justin, but taste is 98% smell. Just FYI, that's I always do with the wine tastings. I do the jelly bean test, right? You hold your nose, put your jelly bean in, chew it. Okay, you can't taste that jelly bean. You can't until you let go of your nose. So that's one thing we try to do. The customer engagement, right? Post COVID, during COVID, everybody did sampling and customer engagement, and post COVID, a lot of them have not gone back to it. We're one of the few, right, that have gone back to sampling and demos and of that nature. So yeah, if you guys want to get your products in to have a demo for the weekend. And offer support. You help us, we help you. But we'd love to have you. We make it fun, like Mitch said. We don't just like, here's your wine and here's your food and go with it. We try to educate the public and make it fun. Anybody can do a tasting, but I think if you add in the education and the fun factor, it really helps things. So.
And I don't know, Daniel, they were at our event. So we got a demo company now that we're using a lot, and we're even using them and paying for them. And so if your people are looking for a demo they're a startup, but they're great. We've been doing great stuff with them. And I guess the other just side note for everyone, and maybe we could get a link, but if you go to our website, there is a place where you can see, how to play ball with us, and it's got the items, it's got how much, there's bundles, It even has lift information, which is pretty incredible, the lift information. So that's a way you can go. And even you might not be ready for that, but it could also give you an idea on how to build your budget, right? You could see all the different spends and kind of try and get a plan together to understand how to do business with Earth Fare. If someone comes in with a plan for promotions, even if they're small and they're not huge, I think that goes a long way for us to kind of listen. And the other piece we know is distribution. Obviously, that's always the chicken and the egg. But, I would say when you're small and we're willing to go to direct, and we like that. I'm doing more of it because our systems are good now. But again, that's hard. And I kind of push people towards distribution, but then there's always that, well, they're going to charge me another 20%, la, la, la. Well, do you take the transportation into mind? You're not going to be doing. So anyway, long story short, but it's great having Steven. Are you a master sommelier? What are you, Steven?
I wish. No, you're too kind, Mitch. I'm a level 2 sommelier.
Okay, sorry.
Level
I'm
2.
only level 2.
Masters is level 4. So
Nice.
my wife won't let me go any higher.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's any cheese people or charcuterie, but it's also, my grandma's, I called them the knickknacks, but the tchotchkes, but it's really like the ketchup, the special jam. We have Mazza. I don't know. They won Pitch Slam. When I was the judge, they're on our shelf. So unique flavors. Steven also does specialties, not just cheese. It's kind of where we put the gourmet stuff too in our store. Lots of cool crackers, too many, but.
Yeah.
Mitch, you mentioned a website where you could see a little bit more info. I was poking around on your guys' homepage. I didn't see.
I think there's a link on the bottom.
Okay.
Anyone know? Or we could find it for you guys and pop it in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you could, maybe if someone could grab that, and then also a few people have asked about the review schedule.
Yeah.
Do you have that where I could pop it in the chat here for people? I don't know if someone has a link to that. They could just drop in.
Jaden probably could find it. I think he built it. So
I did build it.
And just because we're on that topic, so people have you mainly I know you have a review cycle for the different departments, but then you guys also do some
store really more. Like Jaden and Zach have gotten really good at it, and it's very focused and void fills and resets and planogram cleansing, and they're really gotten really good at it. So they have a good strict category review process. Obviously, we make exceptions, but rarely. In that part of the store, I have someone else that's helping me with local. She was at the emerging brand event and emerging brand. So obviously I'm dedicating someone to it. So it's super important for us. And we could also just email you. The one online might be a little fluffy, and we might have the other one. Jane, is it in the new item packet too? New vendor packet?
Somebody just posted the vendor rate card in the chat here. That looks like the right document from March of 2023. And then if we can try to find the review schedule, that'd be cool.
We have it. So, and we're fine to share the vendor packet. There's there's the new item form, checkoff refill, in there. Our boot list. We don't want to have to boot anyone after all that work. So you want to hit them or just keep following the chat, Daniel? We got more or
questions? Yeah, you want specific questions for sure. I mean, I think one that everyone wants to know is around distributors, like how people can work with you. What's your preferred method if they have it already, if they don't have distribution already? And I saw, by the way, Jaden, can you send it and then select everyone when you send the message?
You're so right. I just did the thing that you've been telling everybody to do.
Everyone does it. I don't know why Zoom makes that even an option. Thank you. So Jaden's sending out the review calendar right now in the chat, everyone.
Yeah, so get on that, especially for Center Store. I mean, Justin does it more around categories almost, like fruit, tomatoes, bananas. So juice, UBC juice. I think you got some juice people. So anyway, that's kind of more what he does, not as strict, kind of the whole fresh side. But we don't have as many brands by far. So I would say back to the distribution question, if you can go direct and you're that small, that's good. Then GFI is really good for us, to move into next if we're starting to see some volume. They're not very easy to work with. Gourmet Foods International out of Atlanta. They're probably the best at cheese in the country and the service they give. So I would go to them next. We do a little with Fresh Point. They do some local, but we're trying to be truthful, consolidate our distribution because obviously it's more work for everyone. Invoices, paying invoices, back door, more stocking. So anyway, that's the hard jump, right? That's the scary jump. You're kind of leaning on the edge of the cliff and trying not to fall over because you're going into distribution, right? So I would just say we anchor Atlanta, right? So if you can get in us with Atlanta, that's a home run. And, Steven, it's almost reach out and direct, but GFI helps us a lot in managing that, promos and all that kind of stuff. And Jaden, what was, I get the question a lot. I don't have the specific answers. How do you see an emerging brand? It's really hard to get into that, be even able to get into that category review, right? So how do you see them getting to that and grabbing the golden ticket and getting to good distribution without the risk of going out of business too much?
Yeah, that's a good loaded question there, Mitch.
Long one, too. Kick
Yeah,
it
I
back if
mean,
you want.
but we kind of do it all the time. Like
Right.
every single
Don't say too
category review, there's always a really small brand, really emerging brand that I'm like, let's do it. Like, let's figure out how we can do it together.
How about a medium brand?
Well, a medium brand,
Yeah. One to
medium
get
brands are
into.
easy.
Like one that's, 20 million a year, 10 million a year, wants to jump to UNFI. What would you tell them when and why?
When and why?
Yeah, so when they're ready to go, and how do you feel when to tell someone, hey man, and we do it all the time, this little distributor's not working for you. I want to keep you, but you're going to have to move into a bigger distributor, but I don't want you to lose a lot of money. So how do we do that? How would you suggest we do that?
Well, one of the thing is we can anchor Atlanta, right? So that opens you up to a lot of other opportunities
Yeah.
um that maybe weren't available to you before. We do work a lot, I do it in some of the smaller DCs we're in all of the time and kind of pull together independents in the area and tell them, hey, like this is something that we want to bring in. Like, do you have interest in this? I work a lot with our account manager, with the brokers to kind of blast out when we're onboarding new things to generate that excitement. And I've found pretty good success, especially in the areas where we have smaller presence in DCs in Ohio and Florida. A lot of people, a lot of smaller independents get excited about the brands that we're bringing in that they're unable to get.
Jaden said something good, really good right there too, I think, because I don't feel like we compete with natural food retailers. We're all in it together, right? I feel like it's a community, but we love to compete with Ingles and Fresh Market and Publix and even Sprouts. I would not put in my natural food community, I hate to say, if you read all the ingredients and Fresh Time, but that's a different category, right? So I don't want to compete with them as much either. They're trying to do a good thing. So we can get really scrappy there. So that's where you can play with us too and bring crazy ideas. I think it was Taste It wanted to do like a free package with every chicken sold on our Chicken Monday. That's 2,000 packages, but what a great thing. And they got so much free, which you got to look at when you give an item for free. If you do an ROI on how much advertising you're going to get out of us with that, you'll multiply that almost by 100. So it's like a good, not sneaky, but under the radar, get a ton of marketing. Like right now we're doing Burgers for Bucks. Primal, I believe, right, is our condiment person. They gave it for free, for the hot dogs, grass-fed hot dogs and hamburgers and vegan burgers and plant-based. So we got it covered and it makes it fun for them, right? Give shirts and we send a blast out on that for the next 20 weeks. So you would get 20 weeks of on a sign, on marketing, etc. So there's an inside scoop for you.
Amazing. So one question I've seen from a few people is about health and beauty and personal care. Is there like a review schedule for that, or how does that work?
Yeah. Yes, and it's kind of in the works too, like getting finalized. And Nicole, as much as you could come to, or Nicole, who's our wellness leader, ready. You know, she's not, we need to get more people. We're scrappy, right? When do you bring in another person? You know, we have a light team. This is half of it. You know, sometimes you add 8 people for.
Everyone, keep sending your questions in through the Q&A, and we'll try to.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What do you think? And you're scrappy, I know, when you ran that company. What was it? The Mountain Uchu? I forget. But and you got in Earth Fair, right? And I think you were trying for a while. So like, what was the trick? I always say you need a champion, right? But what was your trick?
Yeah, I
It
mean,
worked. So finally, right?
yeah, I think it's the culmination of a lot of things that I was doing at the time. For me, like, okay, obviously the basics of trying to have a good product and good brand and all that stuff. And then I rely a lot on LinkedIn to make friends and build connections and just share a lot of positive energy out there. So I think I had that kind of groundswell behind me, and that helps, I think, when we're reaching out to your team. So I think maybe the first time we had submitted into Zach and not gotten it, but then I was able to meet you and some other people at Expo and then kind of keep talking about it. And then, so I think we got in the second time that we submitted, and we came with a good plan and everything for how to support the business. And I think we had unlocked the distribution center at that point, like UNFI Atlanta. So I think at that point,
And then what we were talking about, like being out of the box, me and Dan were talking, and I'm like, can you give us little coolers to go on top of the juice bar, you know, mini one, fridge? And he was like, yeah, why don't we do that? That would be great for me. So, you know, always let's talk, you know, for sure with us. Don't think the idea is too crazy.
All right. So one person asked about category reviews for next year. So that, Jaden, that was the 2024. You think it'll be more or less similar for 2025 if somebody already missed theirs?
Pretty similar, yeah. Yeah, we might do a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part, we like to keep the same cadence to really have the same amount of time between resets and refreshes.
And still, like, even if you missed it, still try to network and get to know the buyer, because who knows, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And I just dropped a .xls version in there. I saw somebody mention that they were having an issue opening it up as .xls. So there's another version there. Hopefully that one works better for you. I think that was Milton.
I don't think Nicole's on LinkedIn, but her last name is Kirchman. And we have an email, contact us. So if you're kind of having trouble with everything, you know, call or email that. We're not, that's the best we can do right now as far as, you know, managing requests. And we don't have it on the website yet. We just don't have the, you know, the team, the power, and I don't want extra work. So we're trying to stay within the Kraken of what we do.
And so you guys were mainly all at Expo West, we know, and you guys came and did the session with us. And then, Mitch, I know you're at least going to Fancy Foods, New York. And then I think probably your broader team will be at Newtopia also. Any other shows coming up for you guys?
I know Justin's got some produce ones, and, you know, there's UNFI show coming up, KE show. I think there's an infra show. I'm not going to go to IDGBA. One, it's in Houston, and two, that show's it's got a lot better. I don't know if you guys go, but it's a lot of the same in my opinion, and not clean. What do you got, Justin? Anything for produce and meat?
Yeah, I mean, produce show in Atlanta in October, for sure. We hadn't talked about Fancy Foods yet, but definitely Atlanta in October.
So I think, a few questions I see are mainly around like, brands want to basically get in touch with you guys. So just to summarize, one thing is they can do the contact us email on the website, right? Another is trying to probably follow up with people on LinkedIn and meet them at the shows. Another might be working with your KE or UNFI account manager, it sounds like, to try to get on their radar and they can get on your radar.
Jay Prescott at unifi.com.
What was that?
Just kidding. And what I always say, like, a champion. So what's a champion? You know, it's like Daniel's probably friends with, he was on the, you know, chlorophyll. What was his name?
Matt Levine.
Yeah. So if Matt's got a tight relationship with Jaden, but Daniel has nothing, like, have Matt talk him up and then send an email. And once you're in, you know, you'll have a little like easier way to email, and then we know you're good. if you have a champion. Could be anyone. It could be an investor. It could be someone off the street that just loves it, as an expertise. So I find that's big, because honestly, LinkedIn, I usually don't reply, honestly, or read it sometimes. LinkedIn's too much. I mean, we'll get so much. But I read some of them, and if I recognize the person or I remember for a show or something, I'll answer it. And if it's something, don't not do it, I would say, because Flash Food, I don't know if you guys do know them. I'm meeting with them tomorrow. I never would have found them if I didn't see it on LinkedIn, so super awesome, a way not to have any food waste. So I'm psyched to talk to them. I never probably would have found it for another year. So don't give up on LinkedIn, but be cool on Instagram.
Yeah, be cool. Mitch is all over Instagram. So Steven, I sent this out to everyone, Steven, because you only sent it to hosts and panelists, but Steven gave the address for sending in specialty samples. And then I think I sleuthed out the guy, Mr. J. Prescott's LinkedIn anyways, so I dropped that in there. So yeah, he can blame me, not you guys. I'm fine. So that's in the chat here if you guys want to look.
You know all the extra fees, so you should make them work.
And then, okay, a few people have asked about P10. Do you guys work with P10 Foods?
I love P10. Here's another one. Blue Mountain and P10. It's tough for us. P10 doesn't go to all our stores. I think they go to 5 to 10. They're willing. There's a drop size. I'm just being honest. I really like what they're doing, but it's hard for us. I don't know. That's an intermediate step for people, and Blue Mountain is the other one around here. They go to all our stores, but of course, it's a very high markup. They're a small business, and it's challenging.
Stephen, for specialty, someone was asking, what does that mean exactly? If you want to.
Yeah, especially would be more gourmet items, bougie things, gourmet cheese, crackers, spreads, jams, things of that nature, sweets, chocolates, olives, things of that nature.
Okay, cool.
On the food side, yeah.
Mitch, I did not run this by you, but I was thinking maybe because I feel like we've covered a lot of questions. What if we just get a few people up here for some 15-second pitches?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So if anybody wants to come in as a panelist and pitch, if you raise your hand, but literally 15 seconds. And then, okay, I see one person going up, and then just 15 seconds. And then we're going to kick you off the stage. So just be ready to really quick pitch your brand. I've never done this before. This should be fun. Okay. So you should get an invite being promoted to panelist. And then there we go. What's up, Jen? All right. Jen, do you want to go first? And then we can go to Gary after you.
Can we ask one question?
And don't forget to unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
Okay. Unmuted. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, Mitch, sorry, you were going to say something?
They're going to pitch for 15 seconds. Can we ask one? I'd like to be able to ask one question. Anybody?
It's your world. Oh, yeah. Whatever you want. All right, Jen, go for it.
Okay, super quick. We've been around for over 22 years. We are an artisan skincare company, and what makes us a little bit different, we are Georgia grown because of our local community ties with our farming company, our farming community. We source locally with local ingredient featured in over 90% of our products.
This isn't the one question, but where in Georgia?
We're in Atlanta.
Okay. We have a store in Athens. I love your hair. I would suggest you go to the the Athens store, introduce yourself and show them what you do. And that's a great first step.
Awesome. We'll definitely go and check them out. Is there anybody there we should speak to?
Brian's the store manager, the wellness manager. It might be Jen, but yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
We'll definitely check them out.
Cool.
All right, Brian, you're up next.
All right. Good morning or good afternoon. So I'm a CEO, co-founder of Living Prana. We've created the first functional pancake and waffle mix. So it's organic certified, grain-free, gluten-free, no artificial ingredients. And we've developed SKUs, one that supports memory-focused stress support, and then the other one that's more like morning smoothie and a pancake, natural energy, vitality, and immunity. Proud ourselves on using buckwheat, which is a sustainable crop that was featured in Common Ground as a cover crop, which we absolutely love. And that's a big pitch for us for Earth Week here. We're LA-based. We've been largely D2C in the market for about 2 years. We have a third SKU that's non-functional, just a pure, clean, organic, no poison-free buckwheat pancake and waffle mix.
Is there non-living prana?
It's a little, it's hilarious. So that's like here in LA, I was talking to a buddy and we were going to get a chai, and he's like, chai actually in India is the chai. So when people say chai latte, it's almost like saying chai chai.
I know our James Beard award-winning chef, and we do business. I mean, he might be in a startup CPG, Spicewalla. He always tells me that. He's like, people are just saying TT. You just say chai. You don't say chai.
Just say chai.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
cool.
So yes, living prana is, I guess, a little bit of an oxymoron there.
All right.
Question?
I'm going to go with Gary next, and then come to Mary.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for letting me jump on. Gary with Excite Mind. We have organic plant-based gummies. What's nice about our product is we won the Nexty Award for Supplement for the Mind. And, yeah. And then what's unique about our products is we're capsule strength in a gummy. And every bottle we sell, 1 pound of plastic is recycled, repurposed, and used to either build homes or other regenerative projects.
Is there sugar in the gummies?
There's organic tapioca and organic cane sugar, 2 milligrams per gummy, but they're USDA certified organic and certified kosher.
And where do they sell in the store?
So we just launched in December, but this product here is in 200 top hotels, and we're in 5 airport locations.
Gotcha. I mean, a tip for everyone, really, I always ask that question, where does it sit on the shelf? And then I learn about other retailers too. But you go in there and you're confident about that, that's helpful. And if you're like, I'm not sure, where do you want to put it? And, so.
I thought you asked where we were placed. What customers? I misheard you.
Yeah, just what area in the store? Is it wellness or is it functional drinks?
It would be wellness specialty because we're all herbal based.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right, perfect. Okay, thanks. And we'll go to Marianne and then to Scott and team.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marianne from Fig Brew. We make the only coffee supplement on the market. It is made from roasted figs. So it can be used as a coffee alternative or a coffee supplement, which you add to your favorite coffee before brewing. Sorry, I have pollen. We're in Huntsville, Alabama. So it's pollen city at the moment. So it is made with one single ingredient. We are organic. It's the roasted figs. It looks like coffee, brews like coffee. And it's for people that have to take a small step away from coffee. So you just add it to your coffee before brewing, and it makes it less acidic and is healthier for you. And it sits in the coffee aisle.
Cool.
And it's so this is a 12-ounce bag, and it makes about 68 servings on its own. And it's the only non-coffee product ever to win the Best of Show 2 years in a row at the largest coffee festival in the Midwest.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, it's hard for me to fig brew coffee. So do you taste the fig at all?
You actually don't. You can go up to 75% fig and 25% coffee, and it still tastes like coffee. So figs are really, really mild.
Yeah.
And so you don't lose that coffee flavor at all. The only thing that you notice is it's not as bitter. And if you have acid reflux, stomach issues, you won't have that when you mix in fig with your coffee.
Awesome. You learn something new every day.
And I'd love to send you guys a sample if you like.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, Marianne. Okay, Scott Hartman and team coming to you guys for I know they want to hear about regenerative, so got to get you guys up here. If anyone else is regenerative in the chat, also, please let me know.
Hi, I'm Susan Hartman. I'm co-founder of Recoup. My husband, Scott, was on the call a little bit earlier as well. And we're the first regenerative organic certified beverage brand. So across our whole portfolio. And this is our new prebiotic sparkling beverage. It has electrolytes, 3 grams of prebiotic fiber, and a clinically proven dose of ginger for gut healthy hydration and digestion. We are actually we're just rolling out into Wegmans and Erewhon and Jimbo's, launching in a few weeks, and a lot of pickup already, a lot of excitement about it. We were a Nexty Award finalist. And another cool thing, there's no added sugar and no stevia. So we actually don't put any sweeteners. We just crafted it with organic maple tree water, which is naturally just as hydrating as coconut water with a fraction of the carbon impact, and juices to give it a great kick.
Do you tap the trees?
We do. I don't tap them, but we have a maple tree farmer that we work with in upstate New York and Vermont. So it's local to where we're currently manufactured.
And are you going to Wegmans warehouse or through distribution?
Through a distributor. Yeah.
Can you say who?
It's River Valley.
Here's the thing, maybe you know where my questions are going there, or it might, be an aha. But if I was going to, oh, you're in UNFI on the East Coast, that's then easy for me to go, okay, UNFI, I need that. That might take 30 to 90 days. But if I just see you and I want you, it could be a year sometimes in UNFI, even if we move fast, they often don't, and I'm not knocking UNFI KE. I love them, we hate them, but we need them. So
I hear you. We are with KE currently, and then just to your point, this product is coming out. Wegmans wants it as it's being made, and so we made the decision to go with River Valley because they could get it to them quickly. And so, yeah, UNFI might be in the future, but we know that they're not going to be able to get it out just as quickly.
All right. Milton said he was going to shake things up. Milton, you got to unmute yourself also. Rachel, you'll go. No one's going to listen while we've got him on screen, so you'll go next. That's okay. All right. Milton, well, give us what you got.
I had to give you guys the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm Milton, and I'm from Plantation. We make plant-based snacks that taste amazing, starting with a line of plantain chips, and our signature is peach salt flavor. We're a minority-owned business. Our snacks have 3 simple ingredients. We sell mainly B2B, and we're expanding into the grocery area. But there's one thing about our snacks. Again, plant-based snacks, plantain chips, and we love to bring them.
Nice. What's the main ingredient? Plantains?
Plantains, you got it.
All right. Excellent. If anyone else is wearing a costume, let me know. Okay, Rachel, I'm going to come to you next. Thanks, Milton.
I have no costume. I'm Rachel. I'm from Nixit. Our hero product is our disc-style menstrual cup. And then we have a range of other products for period care and sexual wellness. So wipes, wash, lube, condoms. Our cup is sort of proudly made in Canada. It'll save you up to 99% of your period waste. We launched in 2019, and so far we've diverted approximately 8 billion pounds of period waste from landfill, which we're very proud of. We just went global in Whole Foods, so that has opened us up in all the UNFI DCs as well.
You said condoms, did you?
Yes, so they have very few ingredients. So a lot of condoms have added ingredients. Ours just have the condom and some pure silicone oil. So much better for vaginal health. You don't sort of get UTIs from them. Just sort of a much better option really for women.
That's really interesting. Like I've seen some, cups. I won't say it's hot, but there's a few people now doing it, which is cool. I'm sure it's a little different what you each do, but I don't hear much of anything. Well, like 5 years ago, there was a funny guy passing out condoms at Expo West, but that is, could be a sleeper category, really. I don't know if we even have anything on our store for that. Right?
We really package them for women too, so they're really bright and bold and colorful. We really want to bust the taboos around periods and sex, and also that sort of feeling that women shouldn't carry condoms. We want people to feel excited about buying them, pleased to have them in their handbag, happy to get them out, sort of changing the narrative around buying and using sexual wellness products for women.
I think that might win the trend spotting product of the show. I'm not quite sure yet, but that was pretty cool.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. So, and then if we can just do one more, I know we're hitting the time here. Suniti, if you want to close us out.
Sure. My name is Suniti, founder of Pure Mitti. Mitti means earth, and we make sustainable Ayurvedic skincare products. I don't know if you can see. I'm sure that is it. So these are unique products in the sense they are just made of 3 ingredients: coconut oil, castor oil, and just those herbs. We are in about 50 retail stores. We just got onboarded in KP. We also make Ayurvedic home cleaning products, which is again made of just 4 ingredients. All of them just has the herbs, as in like turmeric or vetiver or neem or tulsi. And these dish bars, they only have the soap berries made of tamarind and lemon peel. We are different in the sense that we are very unique in the market. There is no such product like us, which will really help us reduce the toxin waste. We are proud to say that we've replaced about close to 80,000 pounds of plastic waste so far. We're excited. Actually, we did have a discussion with Earth Fair up on Expo West, and the conversations are continuing, but would be delighted to be a part of that.
I love that. And Can you show your packaging one more time?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
side note, but I think the packaging, one, it's come worlds in the last 5 years, and two, you better be cool because there's a lot of really good packaging out there now. I love it, and it elevates the product. So
Yeah, and we forgot to
really
mention that we work only with rural farmers, rural women farmers. So we are empowering about close to 120 undeserving women back in India, and we only work with them because that's where we procure our ingredients, which is 100% organic, right from the tribal beds. This is where we source our ancient Ayurvedic ingredients, and so we work, and we also use the ancient Ayurvedic methods. So we are very proud to say that.
I love it. Do you roast your spices?
No, there are no spices.
I know, I was joking. We
soak the spices in oils, and it takes about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we make them into soap bars.
Yeah. Cool. I love cooking Indian food, so I love everything about it.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Suniti. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry we couldn't get to everyone. I know there are a lot of hands raised. I was just kind of picking the first ones that went up. So sorry if you didn't get a chance to go, but we do always try to work with the Earth Fair team to do quick pitches in person. So we'll be doing that for Fancy Foods, also for Newtopia. So you'll get a chance to submit on a Google form, and then they can pick which brands that they would like to meet with at the show. So thank you. Please, everybody, join me in thanking the Earth Fair team. Send a message in the chat or whatever. We really, really appreciate the Earthlings for joining. And just let me know where to get my Earthling shirt. And
Justin got you.
We got to do let's do a swag trade. Get you guys outfitted up.
I like your pink. You're going deep in pink lately. I like it.
Yeah.
The sailor hat's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's get you one of those on the yacht, the captain's hat, the custom captain's Startup CPG hat.
Nice.
I look great in pink.
Yeah, we got it. Let's get you guys all shirts. That would be awesome.
Hey, Daniel, I just wanted to say, we super appreciate Startup CPG. It gives us, obviously, we don't have a lot of people, so it helps us do a lot of fun things, which is awesome. And all the brands on the call, you're what makes it happen. So I know we can't make everyone happy, but we're trying and keep trying, and someday that door usually opens. So,
and for anyone who's around like Asheville or North Carolina, South Carolina, we've now launched our North Carolina chapter in the Startup CPG Slack. If you're not in there, definitely sign up on our website, join that channel also. And we had our first meeting at the Earth Fair store. So, if you're in the area, really cool way to get to meet them, and thank you guys for basically supporting the launch of that chapter, because it's because you guys are there that it becomes really meaningful to everybody.
Yeah, we have stores where Dana just said, but Carolinas, Georgia, Virginia are kind of our home base. We have a couple outliers. So if you're local to any of those cities and states, that's a good in too, to start a really good one.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate everyone's time.